If you did, just come along for the ride. Okay, so this is a little different, and I'll point out how so. So a farmer predicts that if he harvests his field today, right, he would get 1,800 bushels at approximately $485 per bushel. That's how much he would be getting in terms of cost, right? Cost per bushel and how many bushels. And the farmer has been told by a consultant, so by a person that knows these things, right, that for every week he would wait. His yield, meaning the outcome or how much he would get out of his field, will increase by 150 bushels. However, the price per bushel, that is, right, would be decreasing by 15 cents every time. And the difference here is this part right here. For every week that you wait. Okay, so every time one variable increases, the other one will decrease, but we're told that a week goes by in between each event. Before, we weren't told, like no one tickets go up, sales go down, right? They don't tell us like the time that goes by. So this one has like a little added piece to it, right? Every time, so I'll make a note here. For every drop / increase, a week will go by. And this is on page 58. Okay? So for every drop / increase, a week will go by, and that's unique to this particular example. It doesn't happen very often, but for farming, it does work. So that would be a little different here. Okay, so I have the key in front of me to make it a little bit faster. So what do we know? Well, this would be the number of items sold, right? Quote unquote. This is the cost per bushel, the price or cost, and then obviously profit. How is this different? If you go back, this one is the same, subscribers and then monthly fee. This would be the price per item. This would be the number of items. But I think I kind of stuck with that theme, didn't I? Number of items, cost per item. But it doesn't have to. Like these two, you decide which one you want to put first, as long as profit is at the end. Okay, so you have choice on that, because the AC that I'm going to give you doesn't have a table, so you're going to have to make your own. Okay? So bushels, let's just fill that in. 1,800 bushels, and we get 485 per bushel. And let's just fill this in first before we do our profit. We know that the yield will increase by 150, so this will go up. Be very careful. Make sure you read that carefully, right? For every 150 increase, the price will decrease by 15 cents. So how do I do this? Minus 0.15, right? So that gives you 470, and this will go up. So the idea is, I don't know if you understand this problem. It's farming, right? The longer you let your crops, the more you let it grow, right? Obviously, you'll have more when you harvest, but the price goes down. And the reason, so the farmers are always gambling, always. They're like, when should I harvest my field? If I wait too long, it might be too cold, it might freeze, or it might rain, it might be too wet. If I harvest too soon, I might not get as much out of it, but at least I make sure I get something out of it. So they're always doing this kind of stuff, right? Again, another 150 increase. One of the variables goes up, guys, and one goes down. There's an inverse relationship between the two, okay? So another 150 increase, that gets you to 2,100 here. Make sure you get this right, because if you're off by, a little bit, it throws the whole thing off. So this 470 minus 15 cents, now the price per bushel would be 455 under these circumstances. So you'd have more, but they would be less in terms of price. Okay, and then profit. Someone asked me yesterday, do I have to show this step right here? Not necessarily. You can just come up with that number. I'm just showing you, right, for your notes. Okay, so there we go. I'll just give you the numbers because I already calculated this. And I will make another note here. I thought it would be a good idea to mention this. Okay. At any given moment, you can always figure out, for example, in this case, bushels. The number of bushels, you could just go profit and divide it by the price per bushel, right? If you knew these two pieces, right? If you knew these, you would just divide and then get the number of bushels you would get. If you wanted to know the price, watch this, you still take the profit and you would divide it by the number of bushels. Right? So you either go, so there's always three pieces at play here. If you go profit divided by price, you get the number of bushels, right? If you go profit divided by bushels, you would get the price. Because these two components are necessary to come up with a profit, but our quadratic can only focus on two variables at the same time, right? So these formulas come out of this. Okay. It's kind of like area, if area is length times width, right? If you were to know the area and the length, you could find the width, or if you knew the area and the width, you can find the length. Same idea, same idea. So let's come up with our equation. So I already typed this in. You can just follow, right? If you want, just watch. So I entered both. It does ask me to relate the price per bushel and the profit, right? So I will put this into L1 and the profit, of course, into L2. And I'm going to go stat, calc, quadratic regression. I'm going to run that regression. I already have it there, so just copy, paste, and there it is. If you have a parabola that points up, you're in trouble. Something went wrong. Okay. Because there you wouldn't have the max profit, right? You would actually only have the minimum profit. Max profit would be infinity technically, right? Because there is no such thing as one max. Plus 6650x. There is your equation. You're done. I will make sure it's on my screen now, okay? So I go y equals, plot 1 is turned on, because after we are kind of done focusing on this, we kind of jump around. I give you an equation, you make an equation. I give you an equation, right? So plot 1 will not always be turned on. So I'm kind of walking you through it. So I'm going to go zoom 9. Not really good yet. So I immediately go to x min and y min. If you want to know my strategy, I would go and put them in -5 or something, hit graph for a little bit. So now I see the y and the x axis. So now I need to just worry about the y max and the x max. X max, I'm going to go 10. Y max, I'm going to go 15 or 12,000, let's say. That's a pretty good graph right there. So what price will yield the maximum profit? Second trace 4, right, for the max. Hit enter, enter. So second trace max. And so I write down the coordinate because I might need that number later on. the vertex itself. Okay, I'll write that down. And this is the price per bushel. This would be the profit, the maximum profit I can possibly make, right? So what price? We're interested in this, right? A price of $3.33 per bushel, right? Will maximize profit. Profits. It's a bit crowded, right? It's hard to see, but I hope you can read that. There's lots of room here if you need to see better. Just come up to the front here. How many weeks will the farmer have to wait to maximize profit? Here it is. This is the one. How many weeks will the farmer have to wait to maximize his profit? So this is the idea here. I want to do this different than my key, okay? We are told at the start, right now, if the farmer were to harvest right now, it would be 485, right? Starting price 485 per bushel. Bushel is a unit that farmers use to measure. I don't know exactly anymore. I used to know. Like it's if you fill a bin, there's certain dimensions that would be a bushel, right? And then when you get your maximum profit end price, what are we at when we get our maximum profit? Why did I get 333? My key says 325, right? Sorry guys, my key is wrong. This is anybody notice that? 333 if you did that, if you did the homework. You can always message me. I don't mind you telling me that I see where I made the mistake, right? It's 3.325. It was too late. I didn't see that carefully. Should get my side checked, my eyes checked. 3.33 is the price. The idea is still the same, right? So from the start to when you get your maximum profit, right? And what I'm going to figure out is how many increases, how many 15-cent, in this case decreases, how many 15-cent decreases had to go by, because I know that every time it decreased by 15 cents, right, a week went by. So try to wrap your head around that one. Okay, so I'll say this. Total decrease would be 485 minus 333. And that is, I need to redo that because I can't rely on my key, minus 3.33. That's $1.52. So $1.52 is the total change for my price. Okay. Total decrease from the start to now where I get that maximum. So you would have to say this number of weeks would be $1.52 divided by 15 cents. And I'm going to highlight that 15 cents. I'm going to use orange or something like that. Orange will do, and just say, hey, the reason that I'm doing that is because of the fact that, right, every time it decreases by 15 cents. So I know that this will give me the number of weeks. Should probably put a dollar sign in front of the 15 cents. And here we go. So you go 1.52 divided by 0.15. And that is 10.133, and that keeps going. And we're talking weeks, right? So that would be approximately 10 or 11 weeks. It's up to you how you would want to do this. 10 is technically correct if you round to nearest whole number. Either one I would accept, as long as you give me a whole number there. The farmer decides that he's happy with profiting $9,000. What price would he need to charge to make this happen? Right? This is my Y2. Y2 is equal to 9,000. So I'm going to enter that into my calculator. Y2 is equal to 9,000. There it is, and it happens twice. I'm just going to go ahead and do that. So the first point is 1.89, 9,000. And the second time that happens is 4.76, 9,000. Did I get that right? 1.89 is right, but the other number I have is 4.79. Oops, it's 7.6 according to this. Okay. So I use second trace 5, right? I made Y2 equal to 9,000, and then I used this to get that. And here you would say he could charge either $1.89 per bushel or $4.76 per bushel. And if I ask you, why is that? Right? Why is it that you can have two different prices, right? You would say, well, at 189 he would have to sell more to get that profit he wants. At 476 he would sell less, right, but charge more, and both give you that same profit that you're looking for. I feel like I need to at least show you the graph, if not actually graph this, but I think we can graph this quickly. I'll just probably not walk you through everything. So for this particular case, I chose to relate the price per bushel, and that is in dollars, okay? And the profit, which is also in dollars. And I'll just give you here what I have. X-intercepts, it's 0, 0. And I also found that the other one was 6.650. The y-intercept is also 0, 0 here. They are the same. And the vertex, we already know, is 3.33, 11,055.63. So right, those are always the points you need. So in terms of the x, I need to make it to 7 or so. I'm just going to go 248 probably. 2468. There we go. 2468. Obviously, you start at 0. And then from 0, I need to make it all the way to 11,000 or so. Let's see how I'm going to make this work. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Not quite. So I'm going to have to go maybe 3,000. What did I do in my key? 2,500. That's what I did in my key. So whatever this goes to show that it doesn't matter. I just clearly tell me where would these numbers go, right? I already give you the grid. All you have to do is make sure everything lines up. 0, 0. And then 6.65, this would be 7. 6.65 would be right about there. And the vertex is at 3.33. This is 3, 3.5. 3.33 is right about there. I'm just going to go all the way up to 11,000. 9. So this would be 10,500. So somewhere in there. And make the graph. Voila. That's it. And that's it.